It is dark and cold outside. When we meet the village drunk.
My name is Edward Pereira, and I'm a Hopi, and I'm a fire and a coyote clan.
His nickname is VJ, and at 51, VJ doesn't hide anything.
Because I am my alcoholic.
You're an alcoholic?
Uh-huh. Ever since when I was when I was going to graduate from 8th grade in Kimskinen.
Beer cans litter his tiny hut. And on most days, you'll find a little something in his pocket.
Good stuff.
But VJ isn't the only village drunk. On this dry reservation, the landscape is cluttered with beer bottles, and the Hopi jail is full of alcoholics.
Alcoholism is the biggest problem we have here on the reservation.
It's illegal to have or drink alcohol on Hopi land. The police captain says, for good reason.
People here, they can't drink sociably. You know, too many of them drink to get drunk.
Despite the huge problem with alcohol in the tribe, this is the closest thing that they actually have to rehab, jail. Police take the drunk inmates and they put them in a room like this one called the tank. It's where they get to dry out, spend a few days away from alcohol, the only place on the reservation that they can do that, because the Hopi have never built a rehab center.
It's because the tribe is denying that there's a problem out there.
Feral Husava counseled addicts on Hopi land for 9 years. Right now, Arizona estimates half of Hopi men abuse drugs or alcohol. Young women are catching up.
Beer, Budweiser.
They blame unemployment, bootleggers, boredom, their own elders. Husava blames the tribe.
But there's a big denial that it's happening. I hate to say it, but it's true. I've worked there for a long period of time, and I know.
Tribal leaders told Husava the same thing they told us. They don't have the money to build a rehab center. No one ever made it a priority to save for one. The tribe even missed a deadline this year for federal money that would have helped build a center. Now, the new Hopi chairman says he wants to make it a priority. Still, do not expect to see a brand new Hopi rehab center for at least 4 years.
Everybody loses. Everybody loses.
Back in his hut, VJ is getting high. Later, he'll start drinking. Once, VJ did sober up after time in a rehab center. But coming back to the reservation meant going back to the old life, old habits, old friends.
Whatever they put in that T-bird, it makes it crazy. I'll tell you that. It makes it crazy.
From tiny ones to toddlers, baby babble can be cute. But let's face it, it's hard to understand. Are they hungry? Do they need a diaper change? Or do they just need to be held?
Because there's times when he's just laying on the kitchen tile with nothing around him, and we're sitting on the couch, and he will just start talking and whining. And it's just like, what do you want?
Richard and Christy Jose have the nursery ready for their second child, but they're still having a hard time understanding their first. He's a typical 2-year-old.
Mischievous.
Whiny.
Troublemaker.
Definitely troublemaker.
But this might be the answer. It's not a baby monitor, but for their baby, it's even better.
This is not what I want.
Christy and Richard have turned to the bilingual to break down the barrier between man and his best friend.
I can't figure you out. He's frustrated.
The bilingual takes into account your dog's breed, then uses voice print technology to translate your dog's bark into one of 6 emotions. On guard, assertive, needy, happy, sad, and frustrated.
They are part of the family. They are family members. And there's a real bond there. That's okay.
Dr. Jeff Jenkins bases that opinion on the tens of thousands of dogs he's treated over the last 15 years.
Yeah, there's real love between the animals and the people.
They just don't speak the same language.
Right. And maybe this would help a little.
The $100 device that fits in the palm of your hand takes some poetic license. It doesn't just give your dog's emotions, but will even offer what he might say, if he could. And it could be no holds barred, like we found out when we locked Guinness out of the nursery.
I said I knew you'd learn that from her.
See all those symbols? Well, those are curse words.
I'm really surprised at how accurate it is, and like he was getting frustrated. You could tell by the way he was acting.
So the bilingual is just rough translation. Now, if only someone could translate our babble into bark for them. Stephanie Sandoval, Fox 10 News.
It's 48 feet tall. It's going to weigh probably 100,000 pounds in bronze. This is the largest bronze ever done in the United States. We work from 6 o'clock at night till 6 in the morning. And that way the weather's really nice to work in. It's a great temperature. And you can't see how far you're going to fall either.
Oh, this is incredible. Really neat. I'm impressed. It's going to the MGM Grand Hotel in Las Vegas. And it's going to be towering above everything else.
As of now, I've done right at 450 sculptures. And we have about 250 of those are life-size or larger. Bronze lasts much longer than we do, so it'll be here long after us, probably for thousands of years.
You could see the flames flashing across the night skies all over the neighborhood. When firefighters determine what they're up against, chemicals in a methamphetamine lab, they know it's one of the most dangerous situations they'll ever face.
We don't know that there's a lab in there. We don't know that there's red phosphorus, that there's acids, and that they've potentially been mixed together with petroleum products that can actually cause us some serious problems.
Firefighters hose each other down after getting near the burning shed, knowing some chemicals can eat right through their turnouts.
Sterling Smith spends many nights looking for scorpions in and around people's homes. This is what he finds. He uses a black light because the scorpions are easier to spot. Once he finds them, he removes them.
It's a guarantee that that thing's not going to get in the house. Where if you're doing just spraying with pesticide around the house, the scorpion can cross that barrier, but he can still live, you know, depending on how healthy he is, out for probably 3 or 4 days. Still get in the house and possibly sting somebody.
Just because scorpions like the dark doesn't mean you won't see them during the day. Hikers can be at risk of getting stung if they're not careful.
The problem is when people are hiking, they kick things around, they move rocks, they move trash that's in the desert, and that's when they get stung.
A scorpion sting can be dangerous if you have an allergic reaction.
Weak or dizzy, a very sharp pain near the sting, the site starts to get red or inflamed, then you should seek immediate attention.
If you have a bad reaction, this goat could save your life. The goat helps produce an antibody for the scorpion venom. Give the
We're fighting for our country and what we believe in.
Private Jolly.
Yes, sir.
We're fighting to preserve the Union.
Fire! Fire!
They got me in the gut and I'm a goner. Gunshot wounds always get you.
The citizens of the United States owe all veterans a very high level of gratitude. You cannot degrade the value of a veteran in any way. We owe them too much.